Crash landing here. Give Philly credit. They did everything better than we did today, and tough game. We really got beaten all facets. So it wasn't one thing in particular. It was a team game, and just didn't get it done. So congratulations to Philly. They get to move on, and unfortunately we don't.
When a team like that gets a jump like this, how hard is it to stop that momentum in that first half?
I'd say anytime teams get a jump like that, it's always, having a lead at halftime is a pretty high percentage of having a chance to win. Really we couldn't get anything going offensively. Couldn't stop them on third downs in the red zone, running the ball. It was a collective effort in terms of not being able to get it done. So that starts with me, and I appreciate our team. I told those guys I appreciate their effort the entire year, their work ethic, the people in the organization. But Philly deserved to win that game. So it's a crash landing in the playoffs. Losses hurt. These losses hurt even more.
Do you believe take away from what you did this season at all for you that it ended like this?
Yeah, Jordan, I don't. Probably not there yet. It's the immediate aftermath of, getting beat soundly. I feel for those guys, but we didn't get it done.
Do you believe the future here is bright? That might be really broad.
Yeah, probably a little bit too early. I'm proud of the guys, the way we competed. I'm proud of, the coaches, the staff members. But you really only do this for one reason at this level, and it's. It hurts when you lose.
It seemed like you wanted to be aggressive tonight. It started early with going for it there.
Yeah. That's it. That 4th and 8 or 4th and 7 where we were. I knew what the line was for our kicker. It was past that. So I felt good about the play that we had worked on throughout the week. We've practiced a fair amount of 4th downs. We just didn't get it done.
What about the punt in the fourth quarter? You're down 21.
The one that was. They hadn't scored it yet in that half. I'm counting on the defense maybe just from so backed up to maybe get a 3 and out. Then they had a long drive. Probably could have went for it. Really weren't executing well enough to either. So, that's what we did.
How different was Jalen from this game from the last time you saw him?
Well, Jalen's a good football player. That's why he's in the MVP race. So, they did everything well. 10 of 14 on third down, 4 or 5 in the red zone, 270 yards, controlled the game, 6.1 yard average. They played good offensive football.
Can you kind of put into words just their pass rush seemed to give you guys some problems throughout the day?
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, that they're a good pass rush team as it is, and then how the game was going, I think that aids in it too. But that's why they were a couple sacks away from the record. They got a really explosive team, offense, defense, kicking game. They're a good football team. They deserve to move on.
Why did they have so much success? Really, both times that they handled you, the first meeting and this time running the football.
They're a good team. They have good schemes. They have good players, and they did a better job of executing their stuff. I think Wink was dialing up a bunch of different things, and they had it rolling tonight. Give them credit.
What did you think about Daniel Jones' performance?
They competed. Just look. We all didn't do a good enough job. That starts with me. Daniel's a competitor. Again, the game. It really was. They controlled the game the entire game.
Brian, what do you tell these guys post-game?
Yeah, told them to keep their heads up. They competed hard. It's a crash landing in the playoffs. Anytime you lose, it hurts because of the amount of effort and energy you put into it each week. And when you lose this time of year, it hurts even more. You work extremely hard to get to this point. You're blessed to get to this point. It's hard to do, and give Philly credit. They did everything better than we did tonight.
I know you still want to take a step back before you really evaluate the big picture of this, but you've been in this league for a while. You've been a coach for a while. How valuable is experience like you guys gained this year for young players from what you've experienced throughout your career?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is playing well. So, I think there'll be a time for more reflecting and things like that. But the most important thing is playing well and, again, give Philly credit.
I realize you're just coming off the field, but can you appreciate the strides that Daniel made this year? And did he even surprise you a little bit by how much he improved?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say, Daniel's been a consistent guy since he's been here. I told all the guys I appreciate what they've done, the commitment they've given to their teammates, to the coaches, to the organization. And, there's no easy way to say it. It's a tough pill to swallow right now.
Do you think Daniel will be the quarterback for the next Giants game?
Yeah, all these conversations, we're going to have those. We got a long offseason, and there's a time and a place to have all those conversations. Tonight's not it.
Dave, how much do you think tonight's game was decided in the trenches?
Well, I'd say it's decided all the way around. I mean, there's, we got beat soundly. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. That all starts with me.
Does this loss here almost set the measuring stick moving forward, that this is the gap you guys have to close?
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place for that too. I'm just, I really don't have a whole lot to add. I understand you guys' questions and stuff. I'm just, taking this one in, and unfortunately we didn't get it done.
Another adjective question for you. How would you describe how you're feeling right now? I'm just curious.
How am I feeling?
Yeah, you're like trying. It seems like you're trying to process it, but I'm wondering if you're disappointed or you're just kind of shocked. Like, how would you describe how you feel?
Disappointed. Wish we could have done a better job. Wish I could have done a better job. Feel like crap. That's as honest as you can be. You work extremely hard to get to this spot. You do not take it for granted. These are hard. This is a hard place to get to, this division round, and to move forward. And just, I feel more for the players and the coaches because we've put everything we had into it, and we didn't get it done.
That first drive that you had after they scored the opening touchdown, you had a 4th and 8. And
Yeah.
How much did you struggle with punt or go for it then?
No, I didn't struggle with it. That was wanted to be fairly aggressive. Where we were at we were too far out to kick a field goal, and I liked the play that Kafka was going to call, and went for it.
Right before that, there was a sack, right? So that knocks you out of field goal range, I guess, in your mind?
Yeah, the line for us tonight was the 35. That was where our line was. So anything after that, now you got to make 4th down decisions, decide what you want to do. We knew that, after warm-ups. So that's where it was tonight. Got to have it. Let's maybe add a couple more to that, but that's where we started with.
Take a couple more.
Ron, do you feel like the team, I know you've only been in there for a couple of minutes, but does the mood that you sense in there reflect what you're feeling now?
Yeah, we're disappointed. We do this for one reason, just try to win, and we didn't get it done.
Saquon, does this stun you, the way this game went?
Yeah, you have a great week of preparation. You don't expect the game to go like this, but they're no more team in NFC for a reason. They're a talented team. They got the best of the 3 times they played us. You got to give respect to them, to those guys, and wish them the best of luck.
Was this more them tonight or more you, do you think?
I really got to go back and watch the film before I can give an honest answer to that. But you don't really give yourself a great chance when you're down 3, down 4 scores. And that's all of us. We all could have done a better job today, and it starts with myself.
With the way the offense had been operating the last couple of weeks, what do you attribute today to?
Like I said, you got to give credit where credit's due. They came out, they had a great game plan. They executed their game plan better than we executed our game plan, and made more plays than us. They're a really good team. They're a talented team. That's what it is.
There's so much that's good about them, but with their pass rush, is it just hard to get anything going just because of what they can do to mess up a passing game?
It's not just a pass rush; it's all three levels. D-line, linebacker, DBs, they're talented all around. And that's not even saying the offense side, and special team. It's a talented team. They're a really good team. They executed a game plan better than we executed our game plan, and they made more plays than us.
Do you feel like there was a momentum swing after that fourth down conversion was failed in the first quarter?
No. We've been an aggressive team all year. EJ to the podium. I like the call. We got to find a way to get the first down. And even when we didn't get the first down, we got to play complementary football. And we didn't do that at all throughout the whole game, not just on that situation. When you do that, majority of the time, not you're going to football games.
With the way this team, you guys just kept building something throughout the year, and now it comes to an end. What's the overall emotion of
It sucks. It was a fun team. The guys here, coaches, the thing that we were able to build this year, the way we played for each other this year, it was special. Obviously, it ended how we wanted to end. But not just because of the record or because we made it to the playoffs. It was probably one of my favorite teams of all time. And that's a sad thing about the NFL. No matter what, the locker room is not going to be exactly the same next year. So just happy to be able to go out there with all these guys and lay on the line and compete with them. It's a special bunch, I'll tell you that. All those guys, everywhere, offense, defense, special team, coaches, equipment, everybody. Special group of guys and girls. So sad that it's come to an end, but go back, watch film, get ready for the offseason, see where you can improve.
Saquon, how confident are you that you'll be back with this team next year?
I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I've been vocal about how I feel and where I want to be. That's outside my control. I want to show the Giants and show them that the guy that got drafted is still here. I hope I did that. Everyone knows I would love to be a Giant for life. But I really can't give 100% answers out of my control. And sometime this week, I get a conversation with my agent Kim and see what's up.
Do you think that if you are able to keep the core of this team together, an experience like this is something you can learn from and sort of use as fuel the next time you guys are in this situation?
Yeah, I do. I think we had a good group of guys. We were able to build throughout this whole year. And I feel like if the majority of guys are able to come back next year, we have the experience. Our second year within his offense, and I just feel like, as you can see throughout the year, we got better throughout the year. So with a whole nother offseason and a whole nother year on our belt, I feel like the sky could be the limit for us.
On that touchdown, do you have the option to keep it yourself and run or hand off? Like, how does that play work?
It's an option. I'm reading the enemy line scrimmage, but I got to credit to Breida. He didn't give me a choice to read it, to be honest. He just pulled it. He just took it. He grabbed it. He wanted to test it and see if he could use the speed, and he did it. So hats off to him, and he made a heck of a play.
Although it's not the ending that you want, is there still a pride factor that can bring you out of here to know from 4 wins to the divisional round and the arrow's coming up for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I always try to look at things in a positive way. There's a lot you can take from this season. We did a lot of great things. Had a lot of success. Obviously came up short. But like, going back to the question, if we can keep the core and we keep the majority of the guys here, it's something we can build on. I believe.
I feel like a foundation was laid, blueprint for success.
Yeah, I feel like a foundation was laid. We got the right guys. We got competitive guys. We got the right coaches. Just came up short. And that's life. You gotta learn from it and build it.
How does it feel that your future with this franchise has always sort of been in the background of this season, and now all of a sudden, now it's in the foreground? There's obviously some uncertainty. You have some ideas about how you'd like it to go. How do you feel right now about your place with this franchise?
I don't know. It's something I would have to sit back and think on. I really haven't had time to think on it. I can't envision that being my last time in the Giants uniform. But like I said, all that stuff's out of my control. That's a conversation that, that's why you have an agent. I have an unbelievable agent. So sometime this week, sit down with her, sit down with my family, and see what's up. There's a whole lot of rules and stuff that can happen throughout this whole process. So just go back, take a little time off, enjoy time with my family, and see what happens.
There's momentum to get to this point, and you have a lot of things going your way. How tough is a game like this when it comes ending here for you?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, anytime you put your heart out there, you give it your all, and fall short, it hurts. Especially, this team and our story this year, it definitely, losing's tough, and it's a very unfortunate way to end the season.
Their offense got going. I know you just talked about how tough was it for them to kind of stop that momentum in that first half.
Yeah, I think all year long they were a team that was really good at starting fast. We had to do the same, and we did it today. And third down, red zone, across the board, that it takes to succeed, in football. We didn't do that well early, and so the score early, showed because of those few situational moments.
Julian, as far as you guys came this year, is this a reminder of how far you still have to go to really be a contender?
Yeah, I think every year there's one goal for each team, and that's to win a Super Bowl. And no matter where you are, one team gets the satisfaction of reaching their goal. And so yeah, I mean it's tough. I don't believe in moral victories. People can say, "Oh, you made it far." People didn't expect much of you. Well, we expected a lot of ourselves this year. We just fell short, in a critical game today.
Anytime you got a team coming off the bye, you expect little wrinkles here and there. Did they show you stuff early that maybe was a little unexpected or different?
They showed us a couple of things, but they stay true to their game plan. They have succeeded all year long because of what they do well, and they did it today. They ran the ball way too well on us today, and it killed us.
What kind of growth did you see in Daniel this year, and how close do you think he is to being an elite quarterback?
Yeah, Daniel has all the tools of the trade. He has the arm, he has the capability, he has the leadership, the effort, the hard work that it takes to be an elite quarterback. I think he won a lot of games for us this year. As much as I don't believe in wins and losses as a quarterback stat, he did his thing for us this year. And as this team continues to build for the future, just try to get more people around him just to help him succeed. I think he took a huge step this year. And I think Giants fans have to be proud of just all he accomplished this year.
Any more? What can you say about just the coaching staff and the way that they were able to come in this season and take you guys up to a different level from where you were just competing at the last few years?
Yeah, I think Dave's did a great job all year of instilling energy in the building, letting people be themselves, let personalities show through people's play. He let coaches coach, he let players play, and that is always a good culture you want to build. He just the foundation of what he taught us was, have juice, have energy. Each game, win or loss, not focus on the result, focus on the process of it, and that has carried us well all season long. And then for me, Wink Martindale was a huge addition that I really appreciated in my game. He unlocked some things for me that I really was able to benefit from, and so I can't say enough about the coaching staff. T-Mac, our ST coach, he's been one of the best coaches I've had the past 4 years here. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for this moment to be with this staff.
Do you think this is the game that you take in the offseason as a measuring stick or as motivation?
Yeah, we're the top team all year long. And so we know what we have to achieve still. We know what we need to correct and what improve on, this team needs to improve on. And, all people that are in charge of doing those things will do so. I have no doubt in my mind that they'll make the right calls just to keep raising the playing field. And, a lot of young, talented players on this team, and that just has to keep growing.
Just to follow on that, the Eagles in these 3 games have obviously established a gap between them and you guys. Do you think you can close that gap in 1 year, or is that too much to ask?
For sure, we definitely can. A off season is a lot of stuff happens. Each season doesn't necessarily build off the previous season, and so it's going to be a fresh start next year. That's a good team. They have a lot of talented on the roster, top down. But next year, we can't speak for that right now. It's a whole new story.
I know talking to you guys this week, you said you expected the full Jalen Hurts, no limitations. They hit that long pass in the second play of the game. Did that change anything about your approach, or was it them showing that, hey, he can throw the ball down the field today?
No, I don't think we went into it thinking that he had any limitations on himself. He was ready to go. He had a week to prepare, a week to get his body right. And so, that was just a good play they made. So we paid too much attention into what he could and could not do. We know if he was out there, he's going to give it his all.
In this group, learn about yourselves over the course of this year through the good, the bad, and everything else?
We always knew we had, we fought. We always knew that we played hard. I think what we learned about was, appreciating each other, enjoying the process, enjoying the moment, and not taking anything for granted. And I would say we harped on that a lot, not taking anything for granted and being in the moment.
Adoree, specifically about the playoffs, what do you think a lot of the young players who have never been there before learned about these last 2 weeks of being in the postseason?
Just not taking anything for granted, understanding that, it's win or go home. Obviously, we didn't get the job done, so now we're going home, so you get that feeling. But I think that is something that you can build off of going into the offseason, getting ready to work and understanding. And then again, you get your exit meetings, you find out what you need to work on, what you can be better at, which is a positive, I would say, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to have that one goal is win the Super Bowl. So whatever we got to do to keep fighting and get there.
How would you assess the future prospects of this team? Obviously you won 4 games a year ago. You win 9 and get to the divisional round, and so what does the future look bright here? Just talk about that.
For us, just get our bodies right, our minds right mentally, physically, and then you just start over. Once the season ends, everybody's 0-0, and it's what you do from now until the season start. And it really gets you there. I feel like last year, a lot of guys, we did a great job, at that. Just getting ready for the season, and we got to do the same thing this next season.
How long will it take to kind of digest this loss?
Probably as soon as we see the film, we watch it, see what we could have did better, and talk to the coaches. We'll have exit meetings on what to improve on and things of that nature. So I feel like to digest it, I don't want to say it would be easy, but it's one of those things where when you want to be great, and regardless of what happens, or when you don't succeed and you fail, you find lessons in those moments. And I feel like with the group that we have here, we do a good job at that.
Considering how well you guys are playing, offense, defensively, complementary football, surprised you tonight? What happened?
I just didn't execute. It's just one of those things where it just didn't go our way. Really, that wasn't not going to sit here and say surprise. They came out and executed, and we just didn't. And that's just how the game goes. And somebody doesn't execute, another does. Things like this happen.
Say something about how far maybe you came compared to where you were in the beginning of the season?
I'm not that forward thinking right now. Just a lot of pain going on right now.
Like to walk off the field after the season like you had. Just walking off the field today with that.
I don't feel good. They played really well today. We didn't have our best game. Yeah.
When you came in here, this team really had a lot of expectations for this season. What do you think you guys have built coming, into the second round here in the playoffs?
It's a good stepping stone. Next year everyone will be in their second year of the offense, second year of the defense, so they'll be able to build from there.
What was it about the Eagles' game plan that just, made you guys, challenged on it?
Yeah, that team, you don't want to let them get ahead of you and let those dogs eat. And unfortunately, that's what happened tonight.
Do you believe that this game almost showed you guys the place where you need to be, that this offseason needs to be about closing that gap between you and them?
Sure.
You've been in the playoffs before. You've had to deal with losses.
Mhm.
How long does it usually take you to get over?
Till August, September, the next game.
Just thankful for this team bringing me in, from the captains to practice squad players to the coaches to the training staff, and just kind of accepting me from day one and bringing me up to speed and just bringing me in like their own. I feel like this is my family. I feel part of the team, man, and I feel like it goes beyond football with these guys. So I love these guys.
Do you think something special is being built here?
Yeah, I definitely do, man. You can just tell the culture is changing. You can tell people want to win. You can tell the work is there, the preparation is there. We just didn't execute today, but I think that we're going to remember this day, going forward, and use it as motivation for next year.
What was it about the Eagles defense or their game plan against you guys that just challenged you all night?
Yeah, they watched film. They did a good job of taking away stuff that we did in the previous game, and just certain schemes and zones that kind of made it hard on some of the route concepts that we were running. So that's credit to them and their coaches. So.
What made it difficult to just not get back in a rhythm or be able to bounce back after a couple series?
I think just failing to execute. When you're on the road and you're playing a good team like that and a good defense, you got to execute on third down and fourth down. And whenever we get these opportunities, and we fail to do that, which gives them momentum, and they're at home, and the crowd gets into it. And we didn't do a good enough job as an offense taking the crowd out. So that's on us as an offense.
You feel like you guys laid the foundation for something bigger than what happened tonight?
Yeah, we just got to keep going. It's going to be a long off season. We just got to keep grinding and be back next year.
Kayvon, why weren't you guys able to get any pressure on Jalen? What worked so well for the Eagles today?
Great team, great execution, and they made the plays.
How important is it, as hard as it is in this moment, to remind yourself this team?
We got to keep our heads up, keep going, and just keep playing with no regrets.